Hi, welcome to another episode of Book Covers DIY. With Halloween right around the corner, I thought it'd be a great time to show you how to design a book cover in the horror genre. But not just any horror, specifically 1980s retro horror. So before we start designing in Canva, let me hop on over to Google where I have searched for 1980s horror novel book covers. For those of you that did not grow up in the 80s like me and maybe are not familiar with this book cover style. But typically they had these really oversized words for their title. See here, there's one there. And more often than not, you would find them in a bold red. You see here. There's more red. Let me scroll down. Specifically, Stephen King as well. I very much miss the Stephen King covers. Here's another one, Cujo. Typically, the font colors are always, red and white. And also the graphics, they were illustrations more than photos. And the colors were very saturated, so they were not realistic looking at all. So if you're not familiar with this genre and this time period, or it's just been a while, I just wanted to refresh your memory before we get started. All right, so now let's hop on over to Canva. Where we make all of our book cover designs. This is that free website. So once you join and log in, you'll be taken to a homepage that looks like this. Today I'm going to be creating an ebook cover. It's only the front cover. But like always, if you need to design an entire book cover for print, then watch this video and then click the link in the description box below. That will take you over to my print book cover tutorial, where you'll get an in-depth tutorial of how to calculate your dimensions for your book cover, design the back cover, as well as the spine. But for today, to make things easy, we are just going to work on the front cover. So right here across the center, you should see an option for book cover. If not, you can just come up to the search bar and type in book cover and hit enter. You'll be taken over to the book cover templates. You can go through here to look for horror and customize one of their pre-made templates, but for today we're going to go up to the top and click on create a blank book cover because I'm going to show you how to design one from scratch. So now here we are in our design area. On the right is our design, and then over here on the left we have our toolbox. I always like to start with a photo or a graphic. It sets the tone for our color scheme and for our font choices. So for today, I'm going to click on elements because this will give us results in both graphics and photos. And then let's type in, maybe let's look for a skull, something simple and easy. Okay, so we have graphics and photos and videos, etc. Let's go with a photo for today. So here we have all of our skull results. You will notice that some of these have a crown, and when you hover over them, they say Pro. That means that those images are only available with Canva Pro, which is the paid feature. If you would like to filter those out, you can come back up to the search bar, click on these three lines, and then you'll get your filter menu. You can come down to price, click on free, and then click off to the side, and you can see now that it has filtered out all of the paid results and you are getting only the free. So there are quite a few here. That's pretty cool. And that one right there, it's like a skull on fire. I'm just going to click on a few. This one's really cool too. It's got like girl holding a rat. This one's pretty cool too right here. I kind of like that one. Let's see what else. You'll also notice that when you select one of these images, you'll get a box that says Magic Recommendations. Canva automatically pulls up any other photos that are similar to the one you chose. So if you want to click on See All, you're going to get all of these other photos that are very similar to that one. For instance, this one here, see her hand is in a different position and the skull is sideways instead of forward. To go back to your results, you just click on this back arrow next to Magic Recommendations and it'll send you back. Oh, this one here looks okay. I like this one. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Let's see, how many do I have chosen here? Let me get rid of this fire. To get rid of a photo, you just click on the one you don't want, and then you'll get a little mini menu right here. In the center is a little trash can. That is delete. So I'm going to click on delete. I got rid of the, oh, there's another one back here. I don't even remember what this one, oh, the girl with the rat. Okay, so I'm going to click on that one as well, and the trash can. You know how every video I show you how to do two designs so that you can have two options and also get your readers or your fans to vote? And what I usually do is I show you how to simply crop the first image. But today I think I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make two different versions with two different photos, which is something we don't usually do. So in order to get a second page, you just come down here to add page. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to actually just bring this skull down here. So right now I'm going to work on this bloody skull. And then we'll make this our, second option. Okay, I want to stretch it all the way to the end of my book cover. To do that, I just click on it and you're going to see these dots in the corner. Grab one of the dots and just stretch it. Okay, and then to center it, you just slide it over and you will get this grid, a horizontal and a vertical line. Will show you when it is perfectly centered. And then you can just click off to the side and it'll place it. I'll go ahead and do that on this one as well. Let's come down here to page 2. Now this is a horizontal photo. You can stretch it this way, but I prefer to stretch it from the corner as well, just so that it all stays in perfect proportions. This is perfectly centered. I'm not sure if I want it like that. We'll see. Okay, so let's work on this photo. I don't want to leave it as is because again, we are going for this 1980s look. And I want a coloring that is like similar to, well, there's this Frankenstein, but like, I guess here this one, the Satan's Love Child. So something, really kind of cartoony colored, not realistic at all. So let's go in and make some changes to this photo. To do that, we're going to click on the photo and then we are going to come up here to edit image. When we click in there, we're going to get a whole bunch of other options in our toolbox. My favorite to start with, if you watch, is usually photogenic. So I'm going to click on See All. So these are all filters. They are separated by categories. I think I like this retro. Oh no, it turned to blood brown. Nope, not that one. This is too much blue. Okay, let's go back up to that. I think polar is what I'm going to go with because it's adding some of this blue, but it's keeping the red, bright red. Okay, so let's click on apply and then let's come on up to filters. And then we're going to click on See All. And here are some filters in here as well. Okay, let's try retro, solar. Okay, solar is pretty good. Let's try a few more. Drama. Oh, 2. Okay, I'm torn between solar and dare. All right, so I'm going to go with this solar. All right, and then now I'm going to do some manual adjustments. So I'm going to come up to the section that says adjust. Click on See All. And the first thing I want to do is add a vignette. It's right here across the center. I'm going to drag that all the way across to 100. And then let's come up here. I want to increase the brightness slightly. It's a little bit too dark. Let's try 35. Saturation. I want to increase that, make that red kind of a ridiculous red color. And let's see about our tint. Maybe about a 5. And let's go down to fade. Again, we're going for that sort of retro or vintage look. See this X process. I'm going to put that at a -20. Okay, I'm going to increase that contrast just to make No, 1,000 times no. Okay, that was my dog pushing her talk button, but that's okay. Okay, she's just on a roll pushing her buttons. Okay, go night-night. Okay, so what I was saying is I'm increasing the contrast to make the corners of the book black again or darker. So here's where it was, and see if you go all the way, that's way too dark, but let's go. I still want to keep that faded look, so let's go back. Let's go to about 50. Okay, that looks great. Once we are happy with the look, let's go out of there and we're going to click on the arrow next to adjust. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. It's kind of like what we're going for over here with Satan's Love Child, this kind of teal face and this kind of ridiculous red for the blood. Okay, so now let's go in. Well, here, let me show you what it looked like originally. So let me click on the original photo and do you see the differences? Here's how it looked before and after. So you can see how utilizing some of those filters we're able to give it sort of that retro vintage look so it doesn't look so modern. So let me get rid of this one. Okay, so now we're going to need to add a title. So we're going to come back over here to our toolbar and click on text. And you can scroll through here to find a pre-made title that you like. This would be a good one for, I think we actually use this for one of our other horror book cover tutorials, but not for the retro design we are making today. So I'm just going to come back up to the top and click on add a heading. let's just call it Skulls. You definitely can't see that, so we need to change it. For right now, let's just change it to white. So I'm going to come up here to this A with a rainbow bar beneath it. We're going to click in there, and then here are our color palettes. Down at the bottom is default colors. I'm just going to choose basic white. Okay, so we have just chosen a basic white right now. Now we need to go and change the font. Please never leave your font Canva sans. So let's go in there and try to find sort of a retro looking font design. Okay, that's kind of retro, but not exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, I like this Cheddar Gothic Sans. Oh, no, I like this one better. Cheddar Gothic Serif. Let's make that bigger and see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to go with this one. It has sort of that retro look to it. Let's go ahead and change the color. We're going to come back up to this A, and let's just choose this bright red. Okay, yeah, definitely this color. Okay, so let's come up to effects. We have different options here. I'm going to click on shadow, and it created a red shadow here. It defaults to the color you've already used. We're going to click in there, and let's change that to, let's see, white. Okay, yeah, white. But it looks almost teal because the transparency is at 40, so it allows the background color to seep in. So now what I want to do is now I want to duplicate it. So I'm going to click on duplicate once and then again. So now let's come up to the original one, and we're going to put our cursor between the S and the K, and let's backspace, and then let's put it after the last S and backspace. So we've taken off the two S's. I'm going to bring that down, and then on here we're going to delete everything but the first S, and let's come up to alignment, and let's align this left aligned right there. I'm going to bring this up. On this one, we're going to delete everything but the last S. And then this one, we want to align it to the right, like that. And we're going to bring this one up as well. Okay, and the reason I separated those is because I want to make the S's larger. Let's make that a 380. And let's make this one a 380 as well, like that. Okay, so now we have the S is large, okay, because you notice that on some of these books we have the end letters are larger than the rest of the word, like that right there on the Soul Eater. All right, once we have those the sizes we want, now we're going to group it all together. Okay, so click on the KULL, then hold down Shift, click on the first S, and while you're still holding down Shift, click on the last S. So now you have all three boxes inside a dotted line box. We're going to come up here and click on Group, and now it is all grouped together. You can always ungroup it if you want, but like if you click off to the side and then you click on it, you're going to be able to grab all of them and move them however you want. You can center them, you can stretch it or shrink it all as one now. Okay, so now we need to add, a lot of them also have like a tagline to them. Like this one says, man's worst fiend, slime, turn on the tap and die of terror. Yeah, so let's add a tagline. So we're just going to come over here to add a subheading. I'm just going to write a tale, let me put that lowercase. I'm just going to say a tale of horror. We're going to click on text color and change that to white, right? And then we definitely need to change the font on this as well. So let's go in here and find a different font, but also something that is retro. Let's see what this one looks. This one's called Burnout. Okay, I like this one here, Brought. Okay, I'm going to make that smaller. I'm going to try to place it within that space there between the two S's. And for that one, I'm going to click on it again. We're going to come up to Effects. For this one, instead of a shadow, we're going to put a lift on it. It's going to kind of give it a, let me zoom in so you can see. When I click on lift, it's going to kind of give it an overall, like a darker shadow behind it. It's a little hard to see, so I'm going to increase the intensity. It kind of just darkens the area around it. See, here's before and after. Okay, now we need to get another text box for our author name. Let's click on add a heading. Since normally the author names were quite large, I'm going to go ahead and change it to white for right now. I always use a fake Stephen King name. Thomas Keene is the fake author name. Let's choose, I'm actually going to choose the same font. If you want to know what that one was, I don't even remember the name of it, but you can click on your Canva Sans and then it says document font. So this is what we've already used. There's Brought right here. Canva Sans is what this currently is, and then Skulls is right here, Cheddar Gothic Serif. So I'm going to click on that one. Let's bring that down, and that one I'm going to change it to red as well. So again, when you click on the colors, it also saves your color, so it knows that we use red and white. So here is the exact red. If you did not have that color and you wanted to match it, you can click in this add a new color box and get this eyedropper tool. And then when you click on anything, for instance, let me place it over the skull. If I click on one of these little pixelated boxes, it will match that color. So I can place it over the red and it's going to match it perfectly. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to have those little lines. Like if I use all caps, the T and the A have these little lines on them. I don't want them to have those, so I'm going to use a lowercase. This type of font, everything is capitalized. But if you try out using caps lock or without caps lock, you're going to see the difference. Lock, and here's one without. See the difference there? Okay, for this one, I'm going to go to effects. I'm not going to use a shadow like the font up here, but I am going to use a lift. Again, it's just going to make it darker in the background. Let me zoom in so you can see. Here is 0, and then here is 100. See the difference? Look at the chin of the skull. It's getting darker, allowing the words to stand out. Okay, I'm thinking I want to fade this a little bit more. It's a little bit still too clear for this time period. So I'm going to click on the image, edit image. Let's go to our manual adjustments right here, adjust see all, and let's go down to the very bottom to the fade. Let's try 20 on that. I'm just going to add a blur of 1 just because photos weren't as crystal clear, and we also want this to look very much like an illustration. Go out of that. Let's see what this looks like in white. Okay, yeah, it looks like they usually have those in white and just the title in red. All right, so I think we are done with this first one. So let's hop on over to this one. We're going to click on Edit Image, and let's go down again to Photogenic. And let's go ahead and go down to the Vintage. Let's try out Retro. Oh, Oceanic. I'm trying to add some of those blues in there. Okay, for this one, I think I might go with the Zeal. We are going to have to lighten it up because it is very dark. So let's click Apply. Now let's go up to Filters. Let's click in there and let's see if we can add some of this. Okay, again, I think I'm going to go with the Solar because it allows the blues to stay blue, but it keeps this kind of reddish orange in the hand. Okay, so let's go out of there, and then we'll come up to our manual adjustments, click on See All. Now we definitely need to increase the brightness. It is way too dark, about 35. Let's increase the saturation, about 80. And we're going to add a little bit of a fade, maybe just a 5. It's already pretty faded. All right, so we'll see how that looks for right now. Let's go ahead and click out of the adjust. And now let's position it where we want it. Maybe right about there. Okay, let's click off to the side. And then now for our font, I'm actually just going to click on the one we already designed. Right click, click on copy, and then go down here and click paste. Okay, so we are able to paste our same one in. Okay, for this one, I'm going to ungroup the words. So now we have 3 individual text boxes again. This time, let's click on the center text box, Effects, and instead of shadow, we're going to go to Outline. Let's click on Outline, and it's going to automatically choose like a darker red. We're going to click in that little box, and let's change that to white. And we can adjust the thickness. Right now it's at a 50. I think that's fine like that. And then let's click on the first S. Again, from shadow, we're going to click on Outline, change that to white. And then on the last S, click on Outline and change that to white as well. Now we can group them all back together. So click on each box while you hold down Shift and click on Group. And now we have them all together. Now I'm thinking it's a little bit too big for this design. Let's ungroup them again. And let's delete this last S and then click in this box and replace the S. Okay, I'm going to delete this S as well. Place it in. So it's going to just be one text box with the word skulls. Okay, so I'm going to click on the background picture, and then I'm going to stretch that so that the skull's almost touching the top, and probably slide it over. Make that larger as well, center it. Oh, and then we need to write a tale of horror. Let's click on that. Again, right click, copy, come down to the second page and paste. Let's move this up and put that beneath it. Okay, so now we just need to add the author name. Let's try this same font. So I'm going to click on that one and click duplicate. I may not like this font. Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with this font. Okay, so let's change that. We're going to click on there and go to the font box, and let's just click on Cheddar Gothic Serif. Okay, and then let's add some effects. We have lift and increase the intensity to 100. And let's make that larger as well. All right, so I think we're done with this one as well, guys. And so you see, even though we had a totally different photo for our second cover, we were still able to complete it in just a matter of minutes by copy pasting our, title and author name and things over to the second one, and just made a few changes. All right, so let me show you how we can download these. But first, let's name our project. This is Skulls Book Covers. All right, and then we're going to click on share. Let's go to download. It's going to default to PDF standard. For printing, we are going to just do a PNG today and download. We just got to wait for the bar to reach the other end, and then it's going to download into a zip file since there are two designs. Okay, so just give it a few more seconds, and we will compare them side by side. All right, all done. Let's click on the zip and open that. Okay, so here are two totally different retro 1980s style book covers. Which one do you like best? Do you like version A or version B? Let me know in the comments section below. This one here, we have our title with the larger S's. Remember, all I did was duplicate the text box to make these larger S's. And we added a shadow. We left it at like 40-50% opacity so that we can see through it. We added our tagline, A Tale of Horror, and then our author name, very big at the bottom. We added a lot of filters and tweaked this photo to give it that, vintage retro horror look. And then for our second design, we used a totally different photo. We added some filters as well, made sure to bring out like teal color. Definitely fade these photos. We don't want crisp, clear photos for retro horror. Then we moved our name to the bottom. We took off these two larger S's and just made it all the same size. Instead of a shadow, we added a white outline and then added our tagline at the bottom. And then we moved our author name to the top. I always suggest creating two designs so that you can get your viewers, your readers, to vote on your final book cover design. All right, so that's it for today. I hope this tutorial helps you when it comes to designing your own retro 1980s horror book cover. If it did, please let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing your feedback, and it helps me know which videos are the most helpful for writers. Don't forget to subscribe because I post new videos every week. And hit that notifications bell so you'll be alerted as soon as that video uploads. So thanks again for watching, for liking and commenting. Until next time, bye-bye.